if you, one thing about my case, some wrote here, Torben, could you please address that people said that you could be leaving prison at any time if you cancel your asylum case? I want to say to that, just to that question, is that I could not just have left like that. Never at all. I wanted to leave like that if I could. But yes, of course, if I did not continue fighting, I have been out before than what I came. But yes, of course, if I did not continue fighting, I have been out before than what I came.
Good afternoon, brothers and sisters. This is your brother Chris Lasala. I'm here with brother Tris from England. You all know him. How long have I known you now, Tris? 12 years?
Yep, 12 years.
12 years. So if you don't know him, you don't know anybody that's over here. So he's been a loyal friend for a long time. So he's the guy I brought in to deal with this problem here of this deceiver, Torben Sondergaard. As you could see in the picture, this guy wrote a book deifying himself about 412 days that he spent in jail willfully. He literally chose to sit in jail. He could have gotten out anytime he wanted within like a week, just enough time for them to file the paperwork. He sat in there willfully. He was arrested for a non-immigrant overstay. He was not arrested preaching. He was not arrested because of his views on Christianity. He was not arrested rebuking any world leaders or coming against like Zionists or the powers of this world or basically the Herods of our modern time. He wasn't doing any of that. He came into this country. He claimed he was persecuted in the safest and the richest nation on this planet, Denmark. Literally a better place to live than the United States. Claimed he was persecuted there. Then he fled here. We have tapes of him saying that we were thinking about and trying to figure out the best way to stay in America. Maybe we were thinking about asylum. Maybe we were thinking about work visa.
I'm going to do is I'm in America and I will see what will happen. We know God wants us to work more in America. We are looking at different options to get some paperwork in order so we can stay here longer. Until then, maybe we should fly out and in. I actually don't know so much right now. Yeah.
You could see that on the Pope Torben Sondergaard channel that we made, where we had proof that he was literally weighing his options of how to stay in America and eventually just default chose asylum. Then he filed asylum in the United States. They didn't like the way he was operating and trying to use the asylum system to get into the country. So they went and picked him up and they put him in jail for non-immigrant overstay. He claimed he was jailed for Christian persecution. What he means is there were people in his inner circle that didn't like the way he operated, who started calling the government on him. That's not Christian persecution. That's people don't like you and they called the police because they see the way you operate. They put him in an ICE detention center. And when they put him in the ICE detention center, he could have canceled his asylum case in the first week and been home within a week or two. Did he do that? No, he didn't do that. He sat there fighting our government, trying to get citizenship for him and his family because he says he was persecuted in Denmark. They brought him up in front of a judge. I saw the court case myself. The judge said there is no evidence he was ever persecuted in Denmark at all. A judge in this country. And there was none, as far as I know. And I've been looking into this guy how what, years? 5, 10 years now?
We have. I
Yeah.
can corroborate that story. I mean, it's a long time, let's put it that way.
Yeah, we've been looking into this guy for years. The claims that he was persecuted in Denmark are an absolute joke. He was doing foolish things with deliverance ministry, filming deliverance sessions while there were little kids in the background, like a no discernment goofball, and people reported him, and he calls that persecution worthy of asylum, which is absolute insanity. Persecution worthy of asylum is someone tried to kill you and your family and you could prove it. Your house has been burnt. All these kind of things, right? So he lied, claimed he was persecuted. He got caught. They threw him in jail. They brought him in front of a judge. The judge said that he was not persecuted. Then, what did he do? Finally, he gave up, right, on his asylum case, and he went home. But guess what he did after he got out of jail? He wrote a book about how he was persecuted as a Christian saint for 412 days. Look at the cover. 412 days persecuted for Christ. And nobody says a word but us in the body of Christ. Everyone lets this goofball walk around claiming he's a persecuted saint. I think that's disgusting. What do you think?
I hadn't heard about it until recently, and it is unbelievable to me that after all we have been through, basically exposing what he's been doing throughout the years, and then coming to this point where, you know, he's used this situation for his personal gain in the name of Jesus, and he's got a whole lot of people who are behind him doing it. It's unbelievable to me.
Right.
Still,
and for all the people watching, guess what? His book flopped anyway. Most people are waking up to this, but the fact that this narcissistic whack job on Facebook every single day and week is promoting this book, trying to deify himself when he wasn't arrested for the cause of Christ, he wasn't arrested for anything to do with ministry, and it was found that he was never persecuted even in Denmark, persecution worthy of asylum, which he was claiming his persecution was worthy of asylum, that he would get new citizenship in a new land because he suffered so much in the land he was running his ministry in, which was Denmark. Right here, September. This was the thing that threw me out because I didn't think I was going to make another video about this fraud until I saw this. This just like literally put me over the top where I had to make a video about this guy. September 17th, right? Torben says, "What you need to know. Charlie Kirk murdered. I was jailed. Behind the scenes of the same war." Do you believe this narcissist writing this?
It's completely unbelievable and unmerited as well.
And
like
then what
how
is...
he puts himself
Look,
in that category.
right under that, buy my book, 412 Days. I'm like Charlie Kirk, buy my book. Are you kidding me? Imagine a man gets killed. A man gets killed in an incident that's completely unrelated to Torben Sondergaard. Completely unrelated to even Christianity altogether. Even though his camp's trying to make him into a persecuted Christian saint also. He wasn't killed for any Christian reason. He was into politics and stuff. He was into,
Sure.
into completely different... Yes, he was a Christian, but he wasn't a martyr. He wasn't a Christian martyr. He didn't die for Christ, and neither did this guy. But yet, Charlie Kirk was murdered in cold blood, so they say, so it appeared, right? And this
Right.
guy's over here using his death to sell his flopped book, claiming he's a persecuted saint.
He's capitalizing on someone's death in order to to promote himself. That's the bottom line. And put him in the same category as people who really did give their lives to Christ and for Christ in totality, right?
Which don't you think that's...
It kind of cheapens what he's cheapening what they did by putting himself on that level, because the things that he was claiming were persecution are nowhere near the kind of level. So he's trying to insert himself into the public sphere that's so shocked by what happened to Charlie Kirk to get them to sympathize with him ultimately.
Right.
Him.
And to be honest with you, I think that's worthy of hell, personally. Like if I were God and there was some goofball, and I don't, I'm obviously not God, and I'm obviously, his ways are way higher than my ways, but I would like to think I've developed some of the character of God. And the anger that I have in me toward this fraud trying to paint himself as a persecuted saint, doing all the things you just said, shaming, making a mockery of all the men that died for preaching the gospel in cold blood, were tortured and killed, right? I would like to think that's coming from God's Spirit, that anger that's in me. And I would like to think if this guy's actually judged, it's worthy of hell, what he's doing. Because there's nothing more self-promoting, narcissistic, arrogant, and delusional, and
manipulative,
money-loving, coveting for his own coveting fame, coveting.
Yeah.
Who starts tooting their own horn as a martyr, or not as a martyr, but as a persecuted saint while they're still alive?
I think it's deceptive as well as obnoxious. I think that the obnoxiousness is to do with the fact that you have the discernment of years of following him and knowing how he works, and then seeing him pull a stunt like this is clearly manipulative, but it's deceptive because it in a way, it's coming as an angel of light. Really, a Christian martyr, he's saying that other people are saying, and he's associating himself with that regarding his own persecution, which we know isn't persecution.
Right. Now look at what the book. I'm in full agreement with that. Everything you said, I'm on the same page. Here's the back of his book. It says 412 days persecuted for Christ. Torben has been persecuted by this administration and targeted. We believe it's because he's an evangelical Christian minister, Congressman Clay Higgins. We believe, Tristan. So basically, some of his people got to one guy in office, and in a council meeting, this guy, Congressman Clay Higgins, giving no evidence of how he was persecuted. We believe he was persecuted because he's an evangelical Christian minister. That's what this guy's hinging his whole lying book that he's a persecuted saint on. Guess what? Guess who didn't believe he was a persecuted saint? The judge that assessed his paperwork.
Exactly.
The judge, and I heard the whole thing, and it's all still out there. I'm not going to tell you where it is, but it's all still out there. I heard the whole thing. That's because every word that judge said was true. When that judge read his verdict and he talked about the reasons that Torben can't claim persecution, how the things he experienced did not qualify as persecution, they were all 100% valid. Clay Higgins, whoever this guy is that they got to somehow, and they had him mention Torben, because no congressman in this country cares or knows about Torben Sondergaard. This guy, Clay Higgins, has not one shred of evidence that Torben was persecuted.
It's a book endorsement.
There is no evidence anywhere that Torben suffered persecution worthy of asylum. There's no evidence anywhere that Torben suffered anything other than his own narcissism, his own lies, and his own greed to plant fake Jesus centers that none of them exist today, that he took hundreds and millions of dollars to plant them. We've done many videos on it. I'm not getting into that. So the fact that he's using this quote as proof that he was persecuted, give us the proof you were persecuted. Because the only thing I see is that people that didn't like you in your ministry sabotaged you. Other Christians, which has happened to me a million times over, and you don't see me writing books. You don't see me saying little effeminates came here that I tried to help, that I gave all my private time to and did everything to make them a success, and they backstabbed me, lied on me, and painted me in a bad light. You don't see me writing books on that, claiming persecuted Christian. That's part of the deal. That's part of the deal.
That's it.
Look at this. Look at this fraud. From the depths of a small cell in B6N, Torben Sondergaard takes us on a riveting journey through his unimaginable challenges, which are, what are they, Tris? Sitting in jail on purpose. Refusing to cancel his asylum case and go home out of pride and arrogance.
Yeah.
As
and
events
delusions of the American dream.
Yeah, visions of the American dream, visions of American money and ministry, visions of people handing him big tithes at tent events all over the country all the time, visions of traveling out west and traveling around the world, right?
Right.
And I know people that knew him personally, they told me he was obsessed with like the Wild West of America and he always wanted to come here and he loves it here. And I mean, that's just hearsay, but I don't even want to get into hearsay. Let me go back into this. Excerpt from chapter 6. Things had shifted from surreal to something out of a nightmare. When they transferred me to the Orange County facility, they made me remove my shoelaces so I couldn't use them as a weapon. Wow. They do that in a basic jail that you go into when you get pulled over for drunk driving, you novice. Yeah, okay.
I have a prison ministry that is standard.
Yeah, it's like standard practice, like any kind of little rinky-dink prison or jail anywhere.
Exactly.
Then they shackled my ankles, chained my hips, cuffed my hands, and secured the cuffs to my waist. After that, they dragged me out to a car. Welcome to a truly unique book, penned with a security pen on paper, within the walls of a small cell in Florida, where Torben found himself imprisoned. Accusations of weapons smuggling and human trafficking were thrown around, yet no formal charges were made. Who cares what some goofballs from your ministry accused you of? Weapons smuggling. That's not Christian persecution, because one guy lied on you while you were in a country you don't belong in. If you were in a country that you belonged in, and someone lied on you for weapons smuggling, guess what? You wouldn't have been thrown in jail. That's not Christian persecution, is it?
No. You know what blows my mind about this? Is that excerpt from chapter 6 is meant to be the all-enthralling, wow, I've got to read this book. I was expecting you to carry on after that. They dragged me out to the car. I was expecting a bit more, but like that's just a normal arrest, and
right.
and that is like all he's got to say about this book of being detained. What's the rest of it about then? Like, where's the actual Christ-centered bit that's like the all-enthralling bit that Christians are meant to read here? Like, I'm like, what am I meant to glean from this as a believer other than he went to jail?
Look at. You're absolutely right. But while you were saying that, I was looking at this. It said, Torben shares his real-life experiences as they occurred, from the moments of deep despair to unexpected joy, recognizing God's hand even in his darkest hour, from the cry of, my God, why have you forsaken me?" to the revival that transformed the entire pod where he was incarcerated. He's literally comparing what he went through to the death of Jesus Christ right there.
Right.
Now, if that's not wicked, I don't know what is.
It's certainly delusional.
Do you see it there? My God, why have you forsaken me? To the revival that transformed the entire pod? What are you, testifying of yourself? Where are the prisoners in the pod that are all worship? Where's the news reporting on you transforming a prison? You're testifying of your own self, dude.
And also, what I would have expected from the excerpt or even the book endorsement, would have been one of those people who came to the Lord through that ecstatic revealment of the gospel in those dark times that he's talking about, not his actual arrest.
True, true. But even if that was true, I'm not going to listen to one guy he dropped $1,000 on to start talking nice about him. That he helped us send his family $1
Fair
grand.
enough.
You know, I want if this is book worthy, if this is something worth him glorifying himself over, writing a book over, claiming he's a persecuted saint, I want it in the news. I want to hear about it on Channel 5. A whole prison turned to Jesus. They won't stop worshiping. They can't stop the prisoners from praising the Lord in the cafeteria. They had to lock everyone down. I don't want to hear it from this guy testifying of his own greatness.
Right.
This wicked narcissist. I'm tired of this guy. Now, for all of you who are questioning what we're saying, here's him admitting that he was willfully sitting in jail. Because I know there's going to be people that are watching this that are going to be like, no way was he just sitting in jail on purpose. He could have never just walked out of that prison at any time. Well, let's hear what he has to say. Somebody called him out for it one day.
One thing about my case, some wrote here, Torben, could you please address that people said that you could be leaving prison at any time?
This guy's been speaking English for what, 10 years, can't even read. Can't talk.
Or speak. Yeah.
If you cancel. One thing about my case, some wrote here, Torben, could you please address that people said that you could be leaving prison at any time if you cancel your asylum case?
Let me translate that gibberish. This person, the faithful will wait, said, Torben, can you please address the people who are saying you could have left prison at any time if you canceled your asylum case? Let's hear what he has to say.
I want to say to that, just to that question, is that I could not just have left like that. Never at all.
Okay, no one asked you if you could have left in the snap of a finger. You liar and deceiver. He's asking you if you could have went home within very short time if you canceled your asylum case. Now just look at the face on this guy right here. Right here. Look at the embarrassment on this guy's face right now. Just where I happen to pause it right there.
Bright red.
He is a fraud. He knows he's a fraud. Now he's embarrassed right there. Now he's then answers, no, I couldn't have left in a snap like that. No, we know that they need to file paperwork and all that, buddy. We know about that. But let's look at how much time that's supposed to take. Usually issue a final order of removal right away. Once that happens, ICE can begin the deportation process immediately. What do you know?
Yeah.
He's
They
saying
don't want him in the country.
He's saying no, I couldn't have just left just like that. Yeah, Torben, you deceiver. We know they're not going to let you out the same hour, buddy. But you're going to be on your way home if you cancel that. You could have spent 2 weeks in jail. You willfully sat in jail for the rest of the 400-something days. That's not persecution, friend. That's you're a fraud trying to deify yourself. Here's the second option. Typical removal time for someone from Denmark. For citizens of cooperative Western European countries, Denmark, Sweden, and Germany, fast, 1 to 2 weeks.
Right.
This is realistic if everything is ready, such as passport already in ICE custody, check. No security checks needed, probably check. All these things are probably checked. Let me clarify. All these things are probably checked. They arrested him. They took his stuff. He's a legit citizen of Denmark. No medical delays, probably check. Flight availability, probably check. He would have been out of there in a week.
Sure.
Some European detainees leave in under 10 days once the case ends. Common, 2 to 4 weeks. Rare, more than 4 to 6 weeks. So
Right.
let's give him the benefit of the doubt. Let's give him a month. He sat in jail for a year willfully.
Well over a year.
Yeah, take the 412 days, take a month off, take a few weeks for the police to file paperwork. He sat in jail for a year willfully, intentionally, and called it Christian persecution, compared himself to a man that was shot in the neck and Jesus Christ dying on the cross. This deceiver.
It's unbelievable, Torben, if you're watching this. It's unbelievable.
You are a wicked piece of garbage, Torben. I don't care how long you've been doing ministry. You are a narcissistic, self-obsessed whack job and a liar and a deceiver and a manipulator. Here are the other options that Internet Land gave me when I looked this up. Option 3, if he has a valid Danish passport. This makes the removal much faster, often 1 to 2 weeks after the asylum case is withdrawn. What does that mean, Tris? It means he's sitting in jail. All he says is, I'm done trying to get asylum here. I want to go home to first world, wealthy, safe Denmark.
Right.
So he
It's
chose
not
jail.
hard.
He chose jail over the nicest country in the world.
Where his family's from and probably a lot of friends and all the rest of it. And no one's trying to kill him there.
No one's trying to kill him. No one ever attacked his family. He's safe there. Nothing's. The only thing he's facing there is, guess what? Embarrassment. Because they put him in the news because he's got no discernment. He did dumb stuff. That's the only thing he was facing here. And guess what he was facing in America? A bunch of praise, a bunch of money, a bunch of dumb people shoveling thousands of dollars into his pocket at every tent meeting.
Yeah.
Living in Palm Beach, Florida. Palm Beach, Florida is the first place he went. West Palm Beach, I should say. West Palm Beach, Florida, in a mansion he was living when he came here. Go look at our video on it. Just search Torben Sondergaard mansion, Chris Lasala. Find it. This dude was living in West Palm Beach, Florida. And where'd he go after that? To a nice house in California. Remember? He was dangling the keys at the house in California. He was like, yay, we got a new house.
Yeah.
So that, this guy didn't go to like Detroit, Michigan. This guy didn't like go live in the outskirts in Louisiana. He didn't go live in the countryside in Texas or Ohio or some regular place where people might need ministry. He went to the nicest places in this country.
Right, the luxurious places, where people have money.
Right.
That's where he.
Right, and that's where he wants to be.
Right.
And now he can't do it like he wants to do it. He's still trying to do it. But option number 4 says this: if he does not have a passport, sometimes 1 to 3 weeks. So in every case we read, it was a month or less. And from what it says there, it was likely a week and a half that he, with his passport and the fact that he's a citizen of Denmark, he would have been home. Would you agree?
Of course, yeah. I mean, it's all there.
Yeah. So when he says this,
your asylum case, I want to say to that, just to that question, is that I could not just have left like that. Never at all.
Now, is that a lie?
I mean, it's deceptive.
I mean,
he's worming his way out.
I mean, what is like that? I could not have just left like that. What is like that, Torben, you deceiver?
Right.
You're not giving a straight answer. Look at his face here. Everywhere I pause it, he looks like an actor and a fraud.
Right.
Look at him trying to think of how to answer this question on this live stream while the camera's on him. Just look at him. He's blushing.
I can see it, yeah.
He's like, what do I? He's closing his eyes, like throwing up a Hail Mary, like, Lord, what do I say? No, I couldn't have just left like that. No, you could have just left like that. Because after sitting in jail for a year, 1 week is like that.
That's
1 week
true.
is like that. You could have
It's
left
really
like
true,
that,
isn't it?
bro.
You just put it in motion and you get it done. That's it.
You go up to
Just
them
like
and
that.
you go up to them and you say, I cancel my attempts to get asylum. Fill out the paperwork. 5 days to 10 days later, you're home.
Right.
You're free. Here he goes.
He had to sit it out.
Now this is what he goes on to say.
Wanted to leave like that if I could. But yes.
Then he just said, I wanted to leave like that if I could. So now he's really lying.
I don't think that's true at all.
Well, if like that this time is the same as the like that last time, if he wanted to leave like that, he could have just went and told them he canceled his case.
That's what I'm saying.
So he's a liar.
Exactly that, yeah.
Of course, if I did not continue fighting, I had been out before than what I came.
Of course, if I did not continue fighting, I had been out then before I came. Now, let me translate his brain damage way of speaking English. What he just said, of course, if I would have canceled my fight to get asylum in this country, I would have been out way before the time that I was released.
Right.
But he likes to speak gibberish so no one could figure out exactly what's going on. He's very deceptive. I think it's intentional at this point, because nobody after speaking English for 10 years could speak this kind of gibberish. Let's hear that again. Yeah, let's hear it again.
Wanted to leave like that if I could. But yes, of course, if I did not continue fighting, I had been out before than what I came. But
what I went out before I came. It's just what?
Look at his face here. You could pause this anywhere and you're looking at the face of a man that knows he's a liar. In my personal opinion.
Caught red-handed. Because the question's so pointed, you can't get out of it.
And look at the anger and disgust on this narcissist's face that someone asked him this question on a live. Almost like he's so prideful and so arrogant that he's mad at them. See the anger on his face right there? He's mad that he was forced to answer this question on a live stream. Like, how dare you ask me a question like this? I'm Torben. I'm the persecuted Saint Torben in the flesh. Do you see it?
It's a very ironic name.
Am I reading his face wrong? Can you see his face right now? Look at his body language. Look at the way he's like guarded and angry and like offended.
Uncomfortable, no doubt. I mean, look at the whole thing. He's just like trying to. It's all over him. He can't get out of it.
Look at the two guys next to him that know he's a fraud. That are just lingering around because they're getting on camera or he's paying them a few bucks. You think these people don't know? They know. They know he could have come home at any time. Yet they're over there sitting with him like while he promotes himself as a persecuted saint.
But if you all want to know more about my case, if you go to torbensondergaard.com,
I could have got out right away if I would have canceled my fight. But if you want to know more about my case, let me start talking about other things, like the people in my ministry that falsely accused me of things. Let me go play the victim and the narcissistic Jezebel little storyline I want to give you. People told the government that I was weapon smuggling. I'm a persecuted victim.
It's a deflection.
Imagine somebody called the government on me right now, told them I was a weapon smuggler and I got arrested, and then I said, I'm a martyr for Christ. We all know how many people hate me. Imagine one of them said that I'm a weapon smuggler and they came here, arrested me, and then I wrote a book saying, I was chained for the Lord. I was bruised for your transgressions, saints, in prison. And just started comparing myself to Jesus Christ. Or Charlie Kirk, who got killed.
Not even Paul of Tarsus did that.
Right.
How dare he? How dare he say that? Especially when the whole thing's a charade. Like,
Right.
it wasn't a charade for Paul.
Is that how you
right?
say it in England, a charade?
How do you say it?
We say charade.
Really?
TorbenSondergaard.com. We have just given out a timeline where we have revealed a lot of new documents and truth.
So he's just changing the subject real quick. Look at, here's him the last few years, every post. Check out my book. Buy my book. I'm a persecuted saint. Wow, Michael Brown, the guy that was having inappropriate relations with a young girl. I'm not saying he committed rape or anything or assault or anything, but he was flirting or doing something with a young girl while married in ministry. This is a guy that used to promote Benny Hinn. I am excited about the responses that are coming in now for my new book. It was slow in the beginning, but now people have received the book and have read it. Wow. You know, notice he always talks about it like it's like the bread of life, like it's like the Holy Ghost. People, it was slow in the beginning, but now people have received the book and have read it. This is truly amazing and something God is using to speak to people. Keep testifying. Keep testifying of yourself.
Yeah, he's writing that. He's writing that there about his own book. Does that not say?
Have you ever seen any narcissism like this? If I write a book,
it is off the charts.
Imagine I just wrote a book and told everyone how great it was for 2 years.
It's unbelievable. It really is.
Like, how does anyone with the IQ with the IQ that of over a gerbil not see that this is ridiculous?
I agree, mate. I agree. It is unbelievable.
And then he posts the good reviews.
Right.
And then I even saw one time, I don't have the clip here, but people wrote bad reviews. And then he wrote a thing saying, this is a conspiracy, these are fake bad reviews. I'm being persecuted. Anything good that happens to him is supposed to happen, the will of God, it's great. Anything bad that happens to him is persecution.
Right.
Look at this.
That's why the judge threw out his case, right?
And he's a merchant. He's a merchandising fraud. Because look, if you send a donation, I'll give you a book. So he's selling the book. In other words,
if you buy my book, right, and give me a few extra dollars, I'll give you my book.
Right. There was one thing where he was putting it in a package with other stuff too. Like he was putting his book. Let me see if I could find it real quick. Here it is. A 3-in-1 bundle. Look at this huckster. Get a t-shirt, get a pamphlet, get my book. A deck of witness cards. You are a joke, bro. You are a joke. You are making merchandise of people. This guy's in it for the money. He's in it for the
100%.
money. 100%. No real man of God would put together packages of merchandise like this with his own face on it. What does this have to do with Jesus Christ?
Zero.
This is a Torben Sondergaard is God package that he's selling to people. I think that's it, right?
I think that's it. What else can you say other than there's no, it doesn't even feel like there's any point in calling him to repent anymore. We've been doing that for years and years and years and years, and he just never listens, right?
Right.
This is for the benefit of everybody else who would think about giving him $1 or buying his book, right? Or anything else. Giving him any kind of time as a minister.
Look, honestly, when we make these videos, thousands of people might watch. 5 people might watch this and be like, they're right. Wow, I can't believe it. They're right.
Yeah. And it's still worth it.
And it's still worth every bit of it. You know what I mean?
I agree. Like, we're called to expose darkness. This is dark. This is really dark.
Faking Christian persecution and then selling a book about it to your Christian brothers?
That's not. There's nothing. Not even pagans do that.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I mean,
the pagans I know around here wouldn't go around scamming people like that in the name of holiness.
Right. I mean, the vanity is off the charts. The vanity of this guy.
He cannot accept that he's, or that when he got arrested, he thought he was in with a shot still, and he thought he could still make it if he just sat it out. That's really what that was about. He thought that he might be able to somehow appeal and get people on his side and all of the rest of it. And he had spun that whole story, and he looked really stupid if he just turned around and said, actually, do you know what? I'm just going to give up the case now. It's been 6 weeks. He had to sit it out to the end, right?
Instead of thinking about his wife and children, the selfish, wicked man, he sat there for his own pride and arrogance because he's so used to controlling everyone and everything around him that he thought he could control the U.S. government too.
Right.
He thought our government is as stupid as the ignorant evangelical Christians that followed him in America. That's his arrogance.
I gave up like following him on everything after like the verdict that he had to go, and then he still said that he was going to try and fight it and appeal it. I was literally like, mate, I don't know what planet you're on, but it's not any planet I'm aware of that I want to be a part of. Like that level of like hubris,
right?
And it's just, I don't want anything to do with it. Right. It's got nothing to do with the Bible. I'll tell you that much.
Right. I guess we'll wrap it up. Please comment below on what you think about this.